Want to give my takeaways pretty much for the first round of the 2020 NBA playoffs. Of course, in the bubble in Orlando. We've seen a couple of series pretty much have ended in a certain way. I already gave a couple of my videos. I already posted a couple of days ago on my predictions for the first round. Pretty much this video, just want to give my takeaways, my initial thoughts, and if I was right or wrong on a couple of series and kind of go forward from there. Number one, Luka Doncic. That's all I got to say. With Luka, he's been balling now with the Dallas Mavericks. His first NBA game pulled up over 40 points and has pulled up triple doubles in the playoffs. I didn't expect Luka to go off this much in the series. Even with Patrick Beverley on the court, he pretty much couldn't stop Luka Doncic. I'm very surprised Doc Rivers hasn't assigned Kawhi Leonard to be on him full time. I know whenever it comes to switches and it comes down to picks, Kawhi Leonard will switch off, so you can get Luka on Reggie Jackson. Pretty much AKA when he hit that step-back game winner on him. So kudos to the Dallas Mavericks and Luka being 2-2 as of right now. Let's see how they can finish off the series. I still have the Clippers winning that series when it comes down to it. But yeah, kudos to Luka. Right now, he's pretty much the MVP of any player in the first round, so kudos to him. Other takeaways is the Utah Jazz with Donovan Mitchell. You know, I got to give credit where credit's due. I've always known Donovan Mitchell's been that dog. And, you know, when it comes down to Donovan Mitchell, his first season in the NBA, he took down Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Carmelo Anthony in the first round when it was the Jazz against the Thunder 2 seasons ago. And he was a dog out there, which is amazing. His second season, lost in the first round to the Houston Rockets. But now, with the Denver Nuggets, I had the Nuggets winning the series pretty much in 5 games, as I predicted it. I didn't think the Jazz would have enough offense, and it'll be heavily focused on Donovan Mitchell. I didn't think he can get it done with, but kudos to him. Pulling off 50-point performances, 30s and the 40s. Dude's been killing it out there. Let's see if he can take them out and finish them off. Right now, they are 3-1 in their series. I did not expect that at all whatsoever. And pretty much they got the Denver Nuggets on check, which was very surprising on that take. Another one is going to be the Miami Heat sweeping the Indiana Pacers. I thought this would be more of a bloodshed as a quote-unquote rivalry, them going back and forth at it. I actually had the Heat winning that series in 6. I don't think anyone really expected the Miami Heat to win that series in 4 straight. Sabonis didn't make a return to the series, so I kind of knew that was kind of in the equation or not. And Derrick Jones Jr. did as well. So kudos to the Miami Heat. They're going to be a tough matchup when they go against the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm excited to see that series in the second round. I'm not saying that there's going to be an upset, but they match up fairly well. I'll make a video for my second round matchup, and I can give my predictions as when it comes down to then. Kudos to the Boston Celtics sweeping the 76ers. I thought that series pretty much was going to go 5 games. I thought Joel Embiid could at least give you 1 game, but I mean that pretty much shows the lack of leadership with Joel Embiid whenever he has his interviews, how he pretty much approaches the game and how he answers everything. Not much the 76ers could have done too much, but they no way, no how they should have got swept. That's another reason why they fired Brett Brown. We have to see what happens to Philly now in the offseason. I doubt they'll make any trades for Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons. I think Elton Brand's going to be able to probably bring in Kenny Atkinson and bring in some 3-and-D shooters like they did in 2018 with that team. The Rockets and the Thunder, the series is tied at 2-2 as of right now. I had the Thunder winning that series in 6, so pretty much on track when it comes down to it. I said James Harden in the first game or 2, he would be able to pull up 40 points or so, but I didn't think he could be able to sustain that. And everything's looking like it is on trend. Who else we got? The LA Lakers. A lot of cats were saying that the Portland Trail Blazers were going to win that series in 5 or 6. Listen, I had the Lakers winning that series in 6. After the first game, I didn't sweat about it. I knew how they were going to be. You know how LeBron can be able to unlock playoff mode, quote unquote. And pretty much whenever there's stress on LeBron James where he's forced to win, he'll get it done with. And look, as we've been seeing, as well as Damian Lillard is going to be out for Game 5. and Zach Collins is out for the rest of the series. So there was some injuries here or there, but it is what it is when it comes down to that. The Toronto Raptors and the Brooklyn Nets, I had the Raptors sweeping them. That was the case. And that's going to be a great series against the Celtics and the Raptors. So that's all there in the Eastern Conference. I think there's one more series in the West I'm forgetting. Maybe not. I think that's it overall. Oh, the Bucks and the Magic in the East. I had the Bucks winning that in 5 games as they did. Or actually, no, they're going to have one more game when it comes down to it. But Bucks are pretty much going to end that off fairly soon. But in the first round, the only upsets or kind of things that got our eye was pretty much Portland winning Game 1, the Jazz going up 3-1 in their series, and as well as the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Clippers as closely as we've seen. So let's see how this plays out for it. I'm excited how this finishes. And round 2 series are going to be some great matchups in the NBA today. Also, as well as LeBron James is still the greatest player in the NBA, as I've always stated and always had that with. And you should have some concerns with the Los Angeles Clippers. They've had Luka Doncic pretty much parade all over them. Their defense is not as close to where it needs to be. They try to flip on the switch, but there really isn't a light when it comes down to it. I don't trust Doc Rivers as a coach. That's why I've always stated, and even for the past couple of months, even for the past year and a half, but I didn't have a channel making videos then. But I had the Lakers always win the championship in 2020. I feel very comfortable when it comes down to it. The Lakers and Clippers are going to be a very great series to watch if they match up in the Western Conference Finals. I know Doc Rivers, he's more of a motivational type coach. He can't really kick you too much of it when it comes down to X's and O's and coaching. And playoff P. Paul George, he's got to do something about his shooting performance. I doubt he can keep it consistent later in the playoffs, but let's see how much Kawhi Leonard has to do for their team. But you got to keep an eye for the Clippers. A lot of people had them in that higher category. I never really did. I mean, you can put them as a championship favorite. I don't have a problem with it, but they're really neck and neck with the Lakers. The Clippers got more depth when it comes down to it, but coaching and playoff P, Doc Rivers and Paul George are really going to be the X factors for the Clippers. But the Mavericks have been pretty much exposing them on that side of things. Let's see how the series plays out, but a lot of interesting things in the NBA today.